Let's begin the Citadel of Spiders, sub-level 1. So the ship says this cave is filled with bugs, huh? Well, guess what? They're about to be exterminated. Starting things off, we have a pretty easy sub-level overall. The only threats here are the shearwigs, and there are some skitter leaves as well. Well, let's go ahead and get you down, my good sir. Very nice. And right off the bat, we found the sub-level's only treasure. A nice, big, juicy red tomato. And there we go. Very nice. Here we have something worth only 40 Pokos. What a ripoff. The Love Nugget. That is pretty clever. I mean, I don't know if it looks like a nugget or anything, but the red color would imply that it represents love. So, you gotta give the developers credit for coming up with clever treasure names, although I've already said that God knows how many times. And now, my next question. Where the heck is the hole to the next sub-level? I have searched virtually everywhere and cannot find it. Uh-oh! That was not what I was looking for. Ah, here we go. So let's take you out and then head to the next sub-level. Very, very nice. 1 down and 4 to go. I will say the Citadel of Spiders is slightly harder than the Hole of Beasts and the White Flower Garden, but it's still pretty simple overall. Citadel of Spiders, sub-level 2. Fun fact, the word citadel refers to a small fortress, and it is also an anagram of the word dialect. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there because, well, I bit my tongue, and it really hurts. Yeah, I am off to a fantastic start, aren't I? Anywho, beginning sub-level 2, there are plenty of fire hazards that await us. So you'll want to have your red Pikmin on standby. Let's go ahead and take care of this wall over here because I want to see if there's something behind this wall. Sometimes there is underground treasure waiting for us, and this is not one of those times, so let's move on. I believe we will encounter some new enemies as well. But even still, we want to have our red Pikmin ready for any occasion. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the squadron and only take the reds with me. And my head is aching something fierce, so I'm going to try and concentrate as best I can. Oh, jeez! Hey! That was a little too close for comfort right there, folks. So let's go ahead and take you out before you become an issue. Oh, that hurt a little bit. It's definitely a good idea to whistle. Oh, that was close. That was very close. When it comes to fighting yellow Wollywogs, you'll want to try and not accidentally throw Pikmin underneath it when it's about to land, because that will lead to disaster. The yellow Wollywogs are definitely the biggest threat in this cave. And using a small squadron to take them out is advisable, because large squadrons can make for easy target practice. And there we go! Very nice, our first treasure of the second sub-level. Speaking of which, new enemy alert! This is a fiery Dweevil. Fiery Dweevils, the first of many Dweevils we're going to be fighting in this game. Dweevils as a whole will try to steal enemies and treasures and walk around with them. Speaking of treasures, the creative inspiration. You know, I could really go for a good RC Cola right about now. But it's not one of the more common sodas in my neck of the woods. And that fiery Dweevil just brought up a very interesting bit of trivia. When they run low on HP, they will spew out flames. and that can cause a problem for any non-red Pikmin. Let's go ahead and take you out before you become an issue. Very nice. And oh, okay. Speak of the devil, there they are, right there. Okay. Oh boy, watch out. All right, with that all taken care of, we've got another treasure that we can bring back, but that's not the only thing for us to find. Yes, indeed, this is not an enemy, it is just a partially buried treasure. And with most of the fire hazards taken care of, we can start bringing the whole squadron in. You can definitely take out fire geysers with non-reds, just be careful when they start spewing fire. Alright, treasure number 2 in the second sublevel, the Lip Service. That has to be the most accurate treasure name I think I've ever encountered thus far. Alright, there we go. And that is it. I apologize if my commentary is not the best. I've kind of been having these major headaches, and I had a cold yesterday that I haven't quite gotten over. But the recording schedule waits for no one, and the show must go on. I think that decapitated rubber duck's head is the last treasure, and this is a really odd name if I remember correctly. Worth 80 Pokos, it's the Paradoxical Enigma. I think that relates to Olimar's entry on said treasure. But we'll have to read it later, because we're ready to move on. I'm gonna go ahead and take a nice sip of water, because I gotta clear up my throat. Halfway there, the Citadel of Spiders, sub-level 3. Well, not technically halfway since there are only 5 sub-levels, but you get the idea. I think, yes, I see it off in the distance. This is the first time we're going to encounter electrical hazards. So this time we'll need to bring our newly recruited yellows. New enemy alert, an anode beetle. Anode beetles transmit electric currents to one another. The way to defeat them is simple. Throw a Pikmin, flip them over, and then swarm. When there's only one, it's completely harmless. But if there are 2 or more... Oh, I actually forgot about that! Oh, very nice indeed. As I was saying, when there are 2 or more, that's when they become a threat. But that's not important. Right here is a Queen Candy Pop Bud. Queen Candy Pop Buds alternate colors, and when you throw a Pikmin inside, it will spit out 9 seeds of whatever color it currently is. Furthermore, they can only be used once, so be sure you time your throw correctly. The Queen Candy Pop Bud is one of many reasons why I typically don't bring 100 Pikmin into a cave as a whole, and another reason is that a large squadron can potentially make for an easy target. Case in point, swooping snitch bugs. Okay, well, you pretty much went down without any issue whatsoever. But the territory is still too dangerous for reds. So let's go ahead and clear out these anode beetles. And as I'm clearing them out, I should mention something very important. Electricity is by far the most dangerous hazard in the game. Because unlike the other 3 in which you can whistle your Pikmin to safety, when a Pikmin gets electrocuted, it instantly dies. No questions asked, the tribe has spoken. So you need to be especially careful when you're dealing with enemies that can wield electricity. And speaking of electricity, the anode beetle can only transmit currents if it's nearby another anode beetle. This one right here is no threat because it's so far away from that other one. But those 3 as a whole can be dangerous to any non-yellows. Alright, let's go ahead and take out this guy. If you take too long, the anode beetle will eventually... Oh, I didn't see you over there! You really are persistent, aren't you? Oh, jeez. Well, that's going to be a problem. Come on. Go down. Go down. Die, 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 die. Thank you very much. All right, it looks like there is a treasure on the other side, but before I do anything, I'm going to take care of one of these anode beetles. There we go. Very nice. Throw, flip, swarm. That is the best way to deal with them. But make no mistake, anode beetles are not very dangerous as a whole. At least not to yellow Pikmin. Purples can also be surprisingly effective in killing anode beetles because of their hitbox. But since there's only one anode beetle left, I think we can bring in the rest of the gang. Alright, where is everybody? I think they are right over there. You guys can carry back this treasure. Alright. Oh, where did you come from? Oh my gosh. This is the cave of the ambushing snitch bugs if I ever saw anything. Okay. Now. That was something, wasn't it? And I don't have enough Pikmin carrying this back. So, let's bring it back. Yep, that's the hole. So we'll need to take care of that wall first of all. I think that can of water chestnuts is the only treasure to be found here. Let me just quickly check the map. This cave is pretty big as far as sub-level layouts are concerned. The layouts are definitely bigger than they were in the Hole of Beasts or the White Flower Garden. But if you're careful, you should still have a pretty easy time here. And there is something that's really itching my nose, and it's driving me bonkers. It's testing my patience. And on that note, the patience tester. Yeah, I worked so hard on that segue. Oh, there is another treasure here. And I think I know why I haven't been able to find it. Because I think it's buried underground. The only question is where. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the map once again. And I think it's somewhere in this area. Yep, because I'm starting to see the needle move to the right. And yes, it was in the area where the snitch bug ambushed us. Let's get it out of our way. I don't want to see his face ever again, even if he's dead. If the anode beetle is sparking like that, don't worry. Your Pikmin won't be electrocuted. It's only when they're actually emitting electricity that they're dangerous. But that doesn't matter to me. One anode beetle is as good as another, as I always say. So let's go ahead and take you out. Alright, I think we finished everything we needed to on this floor. So all we really need to do now is wait. But getting back to what I said about groups of 100 Pikmin. Some people bring a full group. I don't because, again, it makes for an easy target. And that becomes especially difficult later on in the game where the sub-levels get more cramped and filled with more enemies. The memorial shell, very nice. Okay, we are done here. I haven't even had to use... I haven't even needed to use any I'm getting completely tongue-tied here. I haven't needed to use any sprays. That's what I was trying to say. And I think one of the Pikmin brought back the swooping snitch bug that was near the pod. That's all right, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me. Okay. Moving on, we have the Citadel of Spiders, sub-level 4. Sub-level 4 is larger and trickier than the previous sub-levels. Not only that, but we're also going to be encountering some new enemies as well. One of which returns from the first game. And it's right over here, the Water Dumple. Water Dumples are essentially aquatic equivalents of bulb orbs. They attack quickly and they're pretty fast, but they're defensively frail. If you can swarm them with enough Pikmin, you'll be golden. I still want to move forward with my full squadron. Oh, there's an ivory candy pop bud there. Let's go ahead and convert some reds to whites. Just a little further, and there we have it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can never have too many white Pikmin. That's the mantra I live by. Okay, let's go ahead and pluck all these guys from the ground. I hope I can find some nectar because there are one too many leaves in my group. We'll need to tread carefully because there can be some nasty surprises waiting for us just around the corner. And there is yet another one of those nasty surprises I was talking about. Say hello to the Hermit Crawmad. Hermit Crawmads can be a little tricky to deal with. They only emerge from their den if you get close, and they'll dash out and try to grab a Pikmin. However, if they miss, they will expose their backside, but if they don't, they'll drag the Pikmin back to their den to eat it. So you kind of need to fake them out if you want to defeat them. And I believe that Hermit Crawmad was guiding a treasure. Yes, indeed it was. All right. Let's continue onward. And I just want to make sure that no wild and woolly surprises will be waiting for us going forward. Oh, jeez, I didn't see that there. Okay. I think I've had one too many jump scares throughout this cave. Anywho, the time capsule. A lovely little locket. I can see why the ship would think it's a time capsule. All right. Okay, where are we? I think we're in the far corner of the sub-level, and we just made a complete loop. I'm just going to regain my sanity here and take care of both of these walls because, well, there's the hole. Oh, jeez. I really gotta take it easy. I think I'm overreacting a little too much when it comes to being taken by surprise. But, you know, I've done pretty well in preventing my Pikmin from getting eaten or chomped or whatnot. I'm going to try and keep up that spotless record for as long as I can. And for the record, I haven't been resetting these videos at any time. This has all been happening in real time. So I've just been getting very lucky. Now, if you hold down the R button, you can see what's directly ahead of you, and that can definitely be a useful trick. But I don't think we've explored this part of the sub-level thus far. All right, there is a... Oh, come on! I said I didn't want any surprises. Is that really too much to ask, game? Now, I know there's a Hermit Crawmad back there. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come out of your den. Ah, there we go. Oh, that was close. That was very close. But not close enough. And thankfully, that Hermit Crawmad was indeed carrying a treasure. Oh, and there's another treasure close by. Oh! Not today, Flame Geyser. Not today. I think I've been doing a pretty good job of preventing my Pikmin from getting into danger, and it's only going to make it all the more ironic when it does happen. If it eventually does, because I can tell you, it's gonna happen eventually. And I really don't know what I just said there. That's not important. King of Sweets, only worth 15 Pokos. Now there's one more treasure here, and we're standing right in front of it, and it's a subtle nod to our good Koopa King buddy Bowser. How ironic that his face would be depicted on a book of matches. Calm yourself, Adam. You got out of this sub-level virtually unscathed. Even though there were quite a few scares in the process. Flame of Tomorrow at 10 Pokos. It is, I think, the cheapest treasure in the game. Alright. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, we're going to move on to the next sub-level. We're in the home stretch right now. So after the game is saved, we're going to move on to the Citadel of Spiders, sub-level 5. Note to self, make more detailed notes when you enter a cave. Final floor! And we're going to be encountering yet another familiar face from Pikmin 1. Now, the arena is right over there, but before we head in that direction, I want to find something. Somewhere in this sub-level... Ah, there it is! It's an iridescent flint beetle. So let's see if we can get some sprays. There's another one. And finally, some spicy spray extract. Very good indeed. Okay, Louie, come on over here, buddy. Haven't had to do this in a while, but let's see if I've still got it. Come on, Olimar. Oh, there we go. Nice! 2 for the price of 1. Okay, let's go ahead and get these guys flowered up, even though we'll only need our yellows for this upcoming boss fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to dismiss the squadron and only take our yellows with us. The rest of the gang will be safe where they are. But when you are ready, walk into the arena. And, from an aerial perspective, we can see that there is a spider web pattern. That can only mean one thing if you've played the first Pikmin game. It's back! Reintroducing Beady Long Legs. His pattern has mostly stayed the same since the first game. It'll stomp around 8 times and try and squash your Pikmin. Just like in the first game, a small group would be the best. After it stomps, it'll lower its abdomen, at which point you can attack it. Now, you want to be careful where you throw your Pikmin because sometimes they'll try and attack the feet directly, and that won't end well. But it's much easier in this game than it was in the first because it's a lot slower. So Beady Long Legs is, I would say, more difficult than the burrowing Snagrit, but it's still pretty simple overall once you get the pattern down. And he's starting to crumble, which is good. I know some players who can destroy this guy's health in the blink of an eye, and there we have it! I'm not that good, though, but I'm still good enough to take him down without any deaths. And we've got a rather unusual-looking treasure here. What could this be, I wonder? Sweet victory! That giant insect's body has crumbled to dust. I am quite relieved to know I won't have to store such an enormous bug. Analyzing soil samples. Anomaly detected. What's that glittering widget? I'll tell you what that glittering widget is. Yes, it's our next treasure. No, it is not part of the Explorer's Kit. Instead, it is something much more special because this treasure is in a class by itself. And despite its size, it somehow only has a weight of 1. I don't know how that works. I guess its size is not disproportionate to its weight. Yet another treasure that's worth 100 Pokos. It is named, oh so creatively, the Key. This object seems familiar. I will combine it with the President's Parallel Dimension Controller. Alert! Sensors indicate a massive dimensional shift at a distant location. I'm receiving a message from a far-flung dimension. Displaying the message now. Challenge mode can now be accessed from the title screen. It appears to be total gibberish. Hopefully the message has reached its intended recipient. I will name this apparently worthless device the Key. Worthless to the ship, but not worthless to us. Yes, indeed, by collecting the Key, we have unlocked Challenge Mode. Challenge Mode is much, much different in Pikmin 2 than it was in the first game. It serves as a gauntlet of sorts, whereas the first Pikmin game also featured Challenge Mode, but it was a matter of how many Pikmin you could breathe in a certain amount of time. I don't know if I'm going to show off Challenge Mode in this LP. I may or I may not. It all depends. But one thing that's also worth mentioning is the fact that there's still a treasure here. So if we throw the whites, they will dig it up. But getting back to Challenge Mode, it's much more expansive than it was in Pikmin 1. In fact, it would probably warrant an LP all on its own, so maybe that's another possibility I could think of. Just present Challenge Mode as its own separate project. There are definitely some difficult parts to it. But long story short, you just walk through miniature versions of caves and collect treasure along the way. And you'll even encounter bosses too. This is the Regal Diamond, and it looks very regal and brilliant as a matter of fact. Okay, all treasure has been collected. We still have all troops present and accounted for, so let's escape back to the surface. Aside from a few tense moments, the Citadel of Spiders went pretty well, I have to say. 11 treasures collected, as well as a single swooping snitch bug, but no deaths suffered along the way. Very nice. We're still maintaining our consistency. And now it's back to the perplexing pool, and in all honesty, there's not much else to do because I think we were already at the countdown when it started. So let's check to see how far away we are. Yeah, I think we can pretty much end the day right here. So let's go ahead and go to sunset. Well, today went pretty well. We explored a new area. We also reunited with the Yellow Pikmin, whose onion magically transported to the base. And we also explored the Citadel of Spiders. And the Yellow Wollywogs had none. Too bad, guys. Better luck next time. Oh, there was a fiery Bulblax down there as well. Typically, if you leave behind a lot of Pikmin, then more powerful enemies will show up. For example, if a bunch of Pikmin get left behind, then a burrowing Snagret appears and eats them. Rather grisly thought, if I do say so myself. We collected 849 Pokos worth of treasure. That brings our total up to 3986. So we're getting there. We're getting there. The red and yellow rosters received an increase, and I should be more specific. Let's welcome the yellow roster to today's report. Still no deaths. Very nice. Let's see how the president's doing. Olimar, terrible news. I thought I went to Happy Hocotate Savings and Loan, but it seems my loan came from the shop next door. All-devouring black hole loan sharks. Oops. How could you make that mistake with a shop like that? And why would it be near a friendly loan service? I mean, I can't imagine much competition between loan sharks and happy loans. Oh dear, sometimes things on Hocotate just don't make any sense. Let's check the Piclopedia. So we got a few enemies, and I think I actually want to take a look at Louie's entry on the Queen Candy Pop Bud. Eating this flower leads to spectacular, breathtaking indigestion. That's pretty funny. And he also has a funny entry for the shoot here. Inedible, and yet strangely delicious. Ah, Louie, you are too funny, buddy. All right, now let's take a look at Beady Long Legs. Beady Long Legs, Pseudo-Arachnia armoralis, arachnorb family. Although this creature is commonly associated with spiders, it is actually the result of a separate evolutionary line of insectoid creatures. Since the spherical body section supported by the creature's legs carries most of its internal organs, there appear to be no other features that would correspond to a head or abdomen. Alright, let's check Louie's notes. Poisonous. Consumption results in prolonged writhing and uncontrollable mirth. I hope he's not speaking from experience. Let's move on to the treasure. We got quite a few treasures in our hoard. Let's go ahead and check out the key. This item came from the personal treasure hoard of a massive Pikmin-devouring spider. The whole cave was crawling with all kinds of fearsome creatures. I decided to name that eerie cave the Citadel of Spiders. The ship can't stand bugs. Whenever I ask it to store a specimen for salvage, it threatens to stage a mutiny. Yeah, as I mentioned before, it's kind of a running gag that the ship doesn't like bugs or slimy insects or anything of the sort. So it's kind of a nice contrast of personalities between the ship and Olimar. Anywho, next time on Let's Play Pikmin 2, we are going to return to the Awakening Wood of all places. What for? Well, you'll just have to see next time.